real justice ain't no fucking peace, nigga. Better get your peace, nigga. When you in them streets, nigga, don't be a deceased, nigga. A young mom, only child, leave it the least, nigga. Or eager to peace, nigga. It's more easy to beast, nigga. They telling me preach.
Stuff he talking about, I lived through some of that stuff. Have you heard of Willie Lynch? Willie Lynch says,
everybody needs
you will conquer us if you keep us divided. So how are you going to unite to get this going?
See, my thing is,
because right now I think you might be a little bit too heavy. Everybody might not be.
No, we need that. It's too late.
Heavy.
We need heavy because we've been too light for too long. We've been too light for too long. Well, black power, but we're all equal. No, man. If we don't, okay, I'm too heavy, right? Martial law will be here by September. I guarantee you. And y'all don't wish y'all listen. When they like FEMA camp for you, FEMA camp for you, FEMA camp for you, Miss Righteous, FEMA camp for you, FEMA camp for you. And there's nothing wrong with it. I see your divinity, but you gotta understand that white man don't care about that. He don't care about you not littering and eating vegetables and being so spiritual. You're going to the FEMA camp. Shit like that. You're going. Whether you're.
How are you gonna build that unity? This is.
No, it's not about. My thing is this. It's not about building the unity. It's about convincing our people to allow people like me to do my job. Because black people distract. If I go outside right now, get some goons, and be like, yo, we strapped, we protecting the block. It's gonna be black people who be like, y'all crazy, y'all radical, and call the police. So it's about letting black people know you can be righteous, but let me be the warrior I am. Everybody not a samurai. Some people just make the sword. So if you make the sword, yeah, if you making the sword, don't judge me, but I can't get with you, queen.
All right, so we got the homie Young Pharaoh in the building. And shout out to Quanice Jones for having us in there. You know what I mean? Building.
Come here, Quanice.
No doubt. You know what I mean? The queen over here had us out building up here in Hartford CT and all of that. So I'm catching up with the homie Young Pharaoh. Few questions to ask you based off of what was just talked about in there. First off, I want to start with tell the people where you. I know a lot of people know about you, but tell the people where you from and how did you get on your route towards consciousness? Like,
that's right. I'm from Buffalo, New York. When we dealing with geographical land locations. In my route towards consciousness, truthfully, I say this all the time, I kind of always been conscious. I never was able to be mentally infiltrated with the Jesus composition. As a kid, people would tell me stories. It sound like fallacy. I never allowed it. So I was kind of what you would call a hardhead. So basically, just as a child, I just always protected myself internally until I grew up and got to a certain age where I was able to seek knowledge for myself and express myself. So I always just knew the truth as a kid. It's just I had to keep that shit to myself so I could stop getting whoopings. I got a lot of whoopings asking some valid questions. So I had to keep it to myself till I got a certain age. And then once I got about 14, 15, maybe even 13, I want to say I started researching, reading books. I started reading books early on my own, and I grew into who I am today.
I dig that, because you was definitely dropping some heavy knowledge in there. In light of the recent events that's happening, you know, we definitely in some crucial times, and I think people do have a hard time deciphering who's the enemy and what they should do in these trying times. You know what I'm saying? What would be your advice for the people that's out there? Because you said something that hit me crazy. You were saying 85% of white folks have no soul.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And you was even saying you could break down the science behind that. So I'm interested just to hear you elaborate on that, and then also talk about how, like, you know what I mean, what you think, how you think people, black people as a whole, you know what I mean, people from the African diaspora should move about at this present time.
That's right. And the reason I made this statement, 85% of white people have no soul, is because, you know, a lot of in there, you know, a statement was made, you know, what about white people that march with us and protest with us? And you know, when people say, oh, not all white people are like that, yeah, that little funky 15%, but that's not enough. You still got the 85% of their race is still savage life out to kill you. So with that being said, when we dealing with the Caucasian not having no soul, you have to understand in order to possess the cosmic essence, you have to have melanin, a specific component of melanin, being neuromelanin, the one with the N, not the E. Caucasians only have pheomelanin, which is animal melanin. They cannot get above the animal plane conscious level. You see animals kill, a lion will kill you and don't lose no sleep. A gorilla will kill you, don't lose no sleep. A cobra will kill you, don't lose no sleep. The Caucasian is killing us and don't lose no sleep because they are physically composed of the same melanin phenotype of animals. They do not have the neuromelanin, which is manifested within the neuromelanin nerve tract of the brain that allows you to connect to what you call God, the creator, whatever you identify with God as, and possess a conscience. White people do not have no conscience. Now, why is this important? Because the pineal gland is crucial to the soul. The soul enters the body through the pineal gland. So, if your door is locked, you can't get in your house. 85% of Caucasians have calcified pineal glands, and they also lack neuro and uromelanin. So now, why is this important? 85% of Caucasians have no gland within their brain that allows their soul to enter the body. So there is a level of, let's say, spirit that they can never access. They can never access the higher self. 85% of Caucasians, and I believe the number is way higher, but we're dealing with scientific statistics that they document that can be researched and referenced. Right. 85% of Caucasians cannot, their vehicles cannot intake a soul. They have calcified pineal glands. The door to the body has been shut. And even if they did, they don't have neuromelanin. Neuromelanin is called neuromelanin because it has neurons. It has neurons that allow your thoughts to actually exit through the pineal gland and connect with the realm, the ether realm, non-ether. When you hear people make these statements, or cosmic melanin, and this is how you manifest, this is how you pray, this is how you connect to the creator. So even if the Caucasian doesn't have a calcified pineal gland, they have no neuromelanin. So their thoughts can't connect to the creator. They have no cosmic affiliation. They have no cosmic soul. How do we know this as well? Melanin is condensed sunlight. Once the sun vibrates past 800 terahertz, it begins to condensate and combust and become melanin. Just like water goes from gas, liquid to solid, sunlight goes from electricity and magnetism to light to melanin. So why is it important? We are the children of the sun. This is why we can connect to the solar system. This is why we are energized by the solar system and everything in nature. The Caucasian is not a naturally manifested humanoid being. Only Africans are 100% human. Caucasians are 96% human, 4% Neanderthal. They are genetically spliced and engineered people. So now why is it important? Because they have no connection to the creator. They have no divine soul. A soul cannot even inhabit their body because they have a calcified pineal gland. Even if it does, they can't even connect back to the higher self. So now once we understand this, we can understand the savage nature of the Caucasian and why we call him the beast and why he acts like a beast. Our ancestors didn't call him the beast because it was a joke. They call him the beast because he can never raise above the bestial conscious level of existence. So they have no soul. So with that being said, you allow an animal, you might as well give a damn lion a badge and a gun. You allow somebody who's a demonic being, who is trapped on the lowest level of frequency that you can exist on in this form, to govern you, make your laws, become your doctor, become your teacher, etc. We need to, as a black people, eradicate these motherfuckers from our lives. Now, when I say eradicate, do that mean go outside and genocide? No. It means go in your house, throw out anything that got to do with European descendants. Throw it in the fucking garbage. The stories, the books, anything. Stack your house and your conscious soul with Africanized people, places, and things. When you go to school, if they refuse to teach the truth, the true African history, pull your goddamn kids out that school, let that motherfucker shut down. Police. If the police is not fully black and there's not melanated police policing melanated communities, stop supporting these motherfuckers. Stop paying taxes to this precinct. See, you can shut down white supremacy non-violently, but when it comes to violence or the events that's been taking place these last couple of days, you damn right you might need to get violent in defense of yourself. Now, we know that the whole black race is not going to ride because some of us love the devil. So you would be a fool to go out there and pop one of these motherfuckers and just get murdered or go to jail in vain.
Yeah, but some don't know they slaves.
That's right. But what you can do is get strapped and protect your family. Peace. And protect your family. Because ain't nobody saying go hunt down no police. But I bet you police ain't gonna kill my motherfucking nieces and my nephews without some motherfucking consequences. So the point I'm trying to make is we can play the defense mode, black people. It's not no excuse. Niggas get in them cars every day, ride through other brothers' hoods and kill them over what you call gangbanging. So if you can do that play the offensive on your own people, you can play the defensive for your own people. If not, shame on your ass. Shame on you. So with that being said, we need to expunge ourselves. We need to divorce ourselves from the white people. You can call it racist, you can call it segregation, you can call it whatever you want. But at the end of the day, it needs to be done. And every black person, whether you're a coon or you're not, you subconsciously in your soul know it needs to be done. So let's get the job done, because it's not about us, it's about our children. When we trying to maintain a society that wants to murder us, and we allowing a society to continue doing what it does best because it's ran by the Caucasian, and we not putting the futures of our children at hand. If you got a little black boy or a little black girl, you need to understand that when they get of a certain age, the police is liable to kill them. That's just a fact.
Facts.
So you need to get rid of that problem
From
now
Tamir
before your
Rice
child. Exactly.
to Walter Scott.
Exactly.
The old head. You know what I mean?
If I know I got a son and I got a daughter and I love my son, you can't ask me to consciously feed my son GMO foods. So we need to do something about that. All this protest, no. We gonna get rid of that shit by any means necessary, because we have babies that we have to have grow here. So if you're not willing to stand up and get some backbone for your children, you are the problem why black people are weak, and you are what's wrong with us. So think about the children. If you can't do it for yourself, do it for the children who don't know what's going on in this world and will unknowingly come in contact with one of the devil's manifestations. Period. We have to eliminate Babylon. This is Babylon. We have to eliminate it, but it starts in the home. Once you eliminate it in the home, at least your child has a safe haven. So they can go outside and experience this world, and then when they come home, they experience the truth, so they have somewhat of a mental and spiritual shield. But if your home still ain't shit, and your home is Europeanized, and out in society is Europeanized, by default, the African will become misled and Europeanized, and then you're going to be asking the same questions we asking now. Why is black people killing each other? Why is our self-esteem low? Why the black woman wearing weave don't love her natural hair? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because we've been taught and educated underneath white supremacy. White supremacy must be destroyed, and if it tries to be enforced, it must be destroyed by any means necessary. There is no other answer.
I got you. All right, last question. What are 2 or 3 of the top things you think the revolutionaries need to focus on in terms of usurping the white supremacist status?
All right, when we're dealing with revolutionaries, I'm gonna say people like me and you, because we know everybody in them, as Pharaoh
like
and Jesse Jackson, they faking. So people like me and you, what we need to focus on is linking with like minds, because those who act like they don't see color, don't see the whole picture. You see, if you was in the jungle and people say I don't see black and white, I don't see color. Well, if you was colorblind and you was in the jungle, you would never know what fruit not to eat because it's poisonous, because your ass don't see color. So it is through color that nature lets you know what's bad for you. Yeah. Because if you didn't see color, you would never know you was walking into Alaska and was about to freeze to death with your silly ass. So stop making yourself colorblind because you scared to face the problem. Right. So with that being said, me and people like me and you, we need to link with like minds, build a community, and just hold our community down. That's all we can do. Because our people is not going to support us because they too busy loving J's, they too busy loving weed, they too busy loving hip-hop, fucking Empire, BET Awards, that they don't see the injusticeness, or they don't see that we have been globally infiltrated. So my advice to real black people like me and you is to come together, bring our women together, our children together, love each other respectfully, not just intellectually, but righteously. You don't got to be a goddamn scholar to be conscious. You got to be righteous. So that being said, we need to build a righteous community, and anybody that's not righteous needs to be kept on the outskirts by any means necessary. If you come in this motherfucker selling drugs, raping, womanizing, beating, you bring the Caucasian in our community, we're gonna down you, straight like that. Ain't no talking to you, and we gonna hold it down righteous. That's the best advice I can give you. Because if I tell you to go out and be a martyr, it will be in vain. And stop acting colorblind. Because like I said, imagine if you really couldn't see color. You wouldn't know how to live. It is through color that nature tells you what's good for you. Right. So act like you don't know the color white ain't bad for you. Act like you don't know snow is white. And when snow comes, summer leaves, all life and vegetation stops. Act like you don't know parasites and maggots is white. And when they come, they kill you from the inside out. Act like you don't know the white man, every time he jumped off the boat in a foreign land, at least 85% of the people that was there before him become eradicated. Act like you don't know the color white reflects light. Act like you don't know that sunlight actually gives you intelligence, and by the white man just being white, he's actually reflecting and rejecting the intelligence from the creator. So how you gonna be friends with a motherfucker who biologically denies the cosmos? You sound silly. So righteous people who willing to stand on what we know as righteousness for the universe, we need to come together and just keep everybody out, like how Buddhist monks do. See, Buddhist monks don't go into the world fighting problems. They just step outside of the world and make sure the world don't come up in they shit. That's what we need to do. We need to create a sanctuary for righteous people to live and get your ass up out of here if you're not righteous, or we gonna down you. Straight like that.
Say no more. Signing out. Where they find you at?
You can find me on YouTube, Pharaoh Allah, Pharaoh, space ALLAH. You can find me on one of my Facebook pages, which is Sandra Bland. The other Facebook page is a public like page. It's Young Pharaoh. You can also hit me on the Black Woman is God Facebook page. On my website, I have all the lectures I've ever done, but also I have chakra incense in case you meditate. I have I have all 7 incense that cater to all 7 chakras and different levels of your being. And you can purchase those at theblackwomanisgod.1, not .com. So it's theblackwomanisgod.one. And with that being said, you can connect with me. You can email me at my website. I'll get it. I'll respond. Call me for a lecture, advisory, whatever it is you may need, and we can build and really do the revolution for real and quit playing and talking about this shit.
All right, much respect, much respect. Appreciate you.
That's right, peace.
All right, peace.